I'm Krishna. I'm having 10 years of industrial experience working for a global MNCs as a lead cloud engineer and database architect. Also, I'm having a 4 years of experience in a corporate training. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. Welcome back to Day 2 Cloud Data Engineering course. Yesterday, we have discussed about few questions from a few other people. So, and we accommodated all the questions in that last class. So that last class recording is also being published in a YouTube and it is also there in a recording sessions. You can go through if someone has been joined as a newly for this batch. Okay. So today we plan to discuss about, what are databases, what is actually a data, and how it can turn into an information. How can you put a knowledge on top of it and make it as an useful information for the executives? And in this class, we will be understanding what is OLTP and OLAP and what is acidic properties and what are the crude we can able to do on top of it and what is SQL. Okay, so before we starting this session, right? So yesterday we have received a lot of calls from a lot of people who are interested to join with us and they had some questions. So what I'll do is initially I'll take up all that questions. I'll try to resolve or I'll try to answer all the questions and then probably we'll jump onto these topics. Okay, and also at the end of the call, so yesterday also there was a question saying that they couldn't able to identify which exactly the link they have to click and enter into our website for registering with us. Okay, so end of the call, so there will be a link will be provided at the bottom, so you guys can take that one and you can register with us and the payment mode also will be there. If you are not able to do that one, you can contact our admin team, which I have already provided, that you will be seeing at the bottom of the video itself. Okay, so you can use that particular link to register with us. Okay, let's start with today's question. So before we start, let me put the point that we have discussed and last time as a recap, and then we'll go with the question one I have received from one of my admins that one of the candidate was asking. Okay, let's jump onto the details. So yeah, so to just migrate this all the legacy data, right? So we are going to perform in a migration activity also and migration project also. Okay, so this project going to have a technologies. The technology, what it will do is we will learn Python. Once we learn Python using a MySQL connector, libraries and different other SQL libraries and cursors, what we will do is using a Python, we will connect to our local MySQL. Okay, using the host information, usernames and passwords and little information to our local system. And then what we do is every day we run this Python on a scheduled manner. Okay, and then what we'll do is we extract the data from a MySQL, only the data which got loaded for that particular day. Okay, and create the file for it in particular format, and we will directly connect AWS S3 via Python and load it into an AWS. Okay, once we load it into an AWS, after that we will be implementing all Snowflake operations, including integration with an AWS cloud, and we will be implementing a streams concept on top of it, which will perform a CDC for us. Okay, and that data will be loaded as a change data captured in your target tables. Okay, that's going to be your actual projects which happens in a companies. Okay, that project which will be, if this kind of task you got it right, so easily you will be getting a 1 month to 1.5 months of time to implement this whole process. Okay, so in our sessions also we will learn part by part, and when we reach to this particular point in Python we have a project of integrating everything. Okay, so we will integrate in Snowflake. Once Snowflake is completed, integrating whatever we learned till here is something we will be putting a project again. Okay, so we will be performing every completion of the topic, there will be an assignment and we have to complete it, and that assignments will be as real time as possible to the businesses. Okay, does it make sense? Anybody have question on this? Okay, anybody have any other questions? I'll take up questions for another 4 minutes. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I just joined. Could you give a quick recap for that?
which one?
Like from first point, just now I've joined.
Okay, fine.
And
Yeah.
today is the first day of this.
Okay, don't worry. So there was a question saying that there are migrations happening, right? So you are into IT sector or you are fresher
IT only, but in non-technical
or
process.
non-technical sector? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I know your name?
Yeah, this is Arif, Muhammad Arif.
Arif. Okay, Arif.
So Arif, so there was an ask, okay. So usually what happens is the data till now are probably 5 years back or 10 years back. The majorly the data was getting stored in a local systems, okay, local servers, okay. That servers will be maintaining by a companies, their own companies, okay. Later what happened is cloud came into the market. Okay, they're saying that you don't need to, maintain anything by yourself. We will maintain everything for you. All you need is an internet to load the data into our infrastructure, and you can access it at any time you have it. So businesses thought that, yeah, we don't need to put our more man force or money on this, installing the infrastructure, buying the servers, fixing the hardware, maintaining the hardware, having a data center. So there is a lot of problems over there, right? So what we do is we will concentrate on our business, okay, and whatever the clouds are providing, right, we'll just utilize it and we will run our business, they said. Okay, so now that's something as a cost saving, and business runtime is also gradually reduced, and they all thought that cloud is going to change the world. Okay, so that's the reason what companies are doing is they're migrating their data from their on premises, okay, to a cloud. Okay, so on premises means old style, right? So storing a data into their own data centers and maintaining that particular place. And every time think that your company is maintaining 100 TB databases. Okay, databases, instead of a databases, before I go, storage. Okay, you can think it's a hard disk or SSD or whatever it is. Okay, they are maintaining like this. Okay, customers are there. So this 100 TB is sufficient for you because you had only 1 million customers. Okay, eventually your product got hit in the market and everyone started buying it. Okay, and you have a lot of customers came in now. So 3 million customers came in now. Okay, you don't have a space to store that information. That means who bought this product, when he bought it, how much rate he bought it, which location he bought it, how many times he bought in the month, how many years he is with us. So you want to store his information, everything. Okay, product information, customer information, sales information, revenue information, you can name it anything. Okay, so you want to store the data, but this 100 TB is not sufficient for you now. Okay, what you need to do is you plan saying that, okay, let's increase to 500 TB. Okay, this is an on-premise, right? So what happened is this is an on-premise, you decided to increase into 500 TB. So what are the things you need to do? As a company, you have to buy the commodity. That's like a hardware, okay, slash wires, okay, slash any lights, many things, right? You, anyone, right? Technical or non-technical, you would be seeing diagrams, right? So let me quickly show that what is servers. Okay, so I'm going little deep to understand what are servers, what are all things cloud maintains. Okay, so if I go into the servers.
I just joined today.
Yes,
the question is,
good. So I'm just covering a question. Don't worry. Once I'm done with that, I'll take up your question. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So servers inside this one, something like you will be seeing companies will be maintaining rooms like this. Your own companies will be maintaining rooms like this. You ideally you won't be getting any access to go into this one. Only a network servicing guys, and you will be hearing something called as a support guys. Okay, these called network support guys will be there. They only will be allowed here. Okay, this is where your data will get stayed. You see here this diagram. This is called hard disks or racks we can call. Okay, this is the places where your actual data will go and store. Okay, a company is maintaining a room like this. Okay, we call it as a local location. Okay, so the company will be maintaining like this. Now as per my example, your company is maintaining that room and that room capacity is 100 TB. Okay, now but your customers increased, data increased, you are decided your business is going down because no one able to, you cannot store the data, cannot analyze the data. So something is happening here. You plan to increase it to 500 TB. Okay, so what and all things you need to do? You have to buy the space. First is you have to buy the space also. In this diagram, you see there is a space, there is a room needed for it. Okay, you have to buy the space. After buying the space, you have to buy the hardware. Okay, after that, you need people to fix it. Okay, people to fix it. Okay, and you need people to maintain it. Okay, now there is already running data center like this. There is a room already running like this with the servers. You are going to add more space to this one. That means somehow you have to switch off this whole process, switch off, or you can put this into an idle state for some time to make sure you fix this another 400 TB to that. That is called as a downtime. Okay, downtime means existing server room, you have to down it for some time to fix the other 400 TB, because this 400 TB should club with this 100 TB. So totally it should come as a 600 TB file, right? So 500 extra and 100 extra. Okay, so you have to do this one, and after you fixing it, testing and maintenance forever by your company. Okay, so do you think that today I have a problem came in 100 TB only I have, and my customer base is also already increased. Now I'm thinking to do it in a 500 TB, and I need to perform all these tasks. Any rough timeline you can think of doing this all 1 to 6 steps? How much time it can take? Any guess? Any guess? Rough guess is fine guess. Yeah. Think that in your home, you're buying a server, how much time it takes? Long time? Yeah. Any number you can give? Let me put 0.
Maybe 1 or 2 months for the initial steps.
Yeah. 2 months definitely it takes. Okay. 2 months it definitely takes. Is my company or me as a CEO of the company, I'm okay to wait for this 2 months? Do I need to lose my business for the 2 months? Is it fine for me? Totally not fine. I'm not happy with that. Okay, my business will go loss. Okay, so what happened to this one is cloud came in. Cloud guy says that you don't worry. Okay, this is all been already done it in my data centers. Okay, all this has been done in my data centers. Everything is available for you. Okay, all you need is few seconds. Okay, select what capacity you need it. Okay, you ask me now, you need 500 TB or you need a zettabytes or petabytes, whatever the data space you need it. You ask me in a few seconds, I will be ready for you. Okay, and okay, I'll go to the next scenario. He says he will give it in a few seconds. So do you think as a company, do you still follow for this one, or you will go for a cloud? Okay, one major factor of moving into the clouds. Okay, so second factor. Okay, yes, I'm good. Some way I have decided that let's go with this only. No worries. Okay, so 500 TB means when I'm planning, how I'll plan, I want to see the future also. That is, in future, there is a possibility that I can get a 3 million people also. So that upfront, as I'm taking this 2 months to fix this all, right? So instead of 500 TB, I decided have it as, okay, 5 petabytes. Okay, so 5 petabytes is something like 5 into 100s, right? So more than TBs. Okay, 5 petabytes, or let's call it as the same numbers. Okay, so let's call it as a 900 terabytes. I want to go ahead. Okay, this is what I decided to go. Okay, as future, I have my confidence my company will do great and customers will increase. Okay, so 900 petabytes, that means this whole cost for your 500 terabytes costed you, think that 5 crores. Okay, so now my plan is to go for a 900 terabytes. That is going to cost me 9 crores. Okay, so now what happened is I spent 9 crores, fixed all infra. Okay, here it was totally prediction of I'll get a good customers. Okay, 9 crores, fixed all infra. We had a pandemic. Okay, no sales, no outgoing, no buys, no sells, nothing happened. Okay, pandemic happened for for 3 years or 4 years. What happens to this 9 crores money I have spent on? I'm into loss. I'm into big loss. Okay, my prediction went wrong. Unexpected things happened. You didn't anticipated that these things will happen, and you went ahead because your previous stats are very good. Yeah, till here my stats are very good. I could able to get 1 million customers within a very short of time because my product is doing very well. Okay, big loss. Company will go bankrupted or whatever it could have happened. Okay, so but cloud guy says that you need 900 TB, right? Yeah, TB is available to you. Okay, in a second it is available to you. Now, right in the point of time at 6:51. Okay, right in the point of time at 6:51, what you used, pay only for that. That means you used 100 TB. So you are initially using 100 TB, right? Probably by today, only 150 TB it has been there. Pay only for 150 TB. No, tomorrow what happened? You're increased 200 TB. Pay only for 200 TB. Till whatever the point you need it, whatever you are using, only pay for what you used. The model called as a pay as you go. This model, with this model, companies no need to predict it here. Okay, no need to go into losses like this, which is already available now. Okay, which is in a few seconds, it is available for you over the internet. Okay, so you can use it this. You don't need to go for a losses. Okay, one another big factor why companies moved it to cloud. Factor one, factor two. Okay, there are multiple factors. Whenever we get a chance, we will learn this one. Okay, coming back to the question, why migration, right? So based on the above factors, I decided, yeah, I have to move all my on-premises. I don't have any capacity of maintaining my own data centers in my company. Okay, I can't maintain these people, unnecessary waste of money. I want to concentrate on my business too. Expansion, business expansion is something I have to concentrate. Okay, so migration started. So we want to move from an on-premises to cloud. So that's where the question came in. So someone asked saying that we need some migration project to be explained in this one, sir, in this course. So I have told him that, yes, we are going to do that migration project. Okay. So as we are learning, this is the whole tech stack we are learning. When we reach to the Python level, we will be doing a migration activity. Python will connect to your local on-premises MySQL and fetches the data every day, and it connects to the AWS to drop the files. And that files will be read at a Snowflake operations. Inside Snowflake, we'll have a few other features that we will implement, and we will be loading the data into the tables. Okay. So did I answer your question now? Who was that person? Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Are you guys able to follow me? Or do I am going fast, or you need some more information on this? I take your silence as no then.
Yes, Krishna.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Please go ahead. Someone else was asking question.
Yeah, hi Krishna. This is Raj.
Hey,
I
Raj.
had good experience in Linux and cloud administration. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
I had that entering into data engineering or database without having experience. It's bit tough. I had from my friends who are working in SQL Server and all. That is my first question.
Okay.
Yeah, and second question will be, so it's not question. I will appreciate you. Why? Because if you had planned in this course, that is the database and testing and migration project too. This is a good idea. Why? Because recently 50% similar to you.
Okay. Yeah,
So
okay.
I supposed to be a good idea initially saying complete DBA. I mean complete database.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I had one query. That is second question. Why we choose AWS data engineering apart from Azure data engineering? Why? Because from on-premises to Microsoft is the one of the leading, and why not GCP and Azure data engineering as well?
Just to correct one, we had a very long discussions about this yesterday, and we published an article also.
Actually, I'm news I need today. So
No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine.
yeah,
So
if you want to explain in 2 minutes, it's okay. Otherwise, I will go with the yesterday's demonstration.
Yeah, you go to, I would say that, no, it's a long decision. Actually, in simple words, you cannot say it's a market
Okay.
value. Okay.
Yeah,
Azure is
yeah.
also performing well. Yesterday, we published an article. So a lot of people, not only your batch, right? So a lot
Yeah.
of batches had the same question. Okay. So end of the day, our goal is you want to find an opportunity. It's not like you learn AWS, you learn Azure, you are not finding an opportunity. You should find an opportunities. Okay. That's where we came up with a concept of. So yesterday we published an article on this, Raj. Okay. You would be seeing in our groups, and hope some few of the guys has been went ahead. We have taken a time to prepare that article and have published yesterday. Okay. Please go through that and find the video also. Okay.
Okay.
To your
Okay.
question, a simple answer is the market value it's been captured, a number of companies which are being already working on AWS and Azure is the matters. Okay. Azure from last 2021 to 23, Azure has crossed 1% more than AWS. Okay, that's also we have highlighted that. But still, there are three categories whenever the clouds has been decided, right? Light users, medium users, and heavy users. Okay, the light users and medium users of cloud are still going with an Azure, comparatively little greater than AWS. Heavy cloud users, the first option is still is in AWS. Okay, what is the reasons? What is the revenue? What could be the reasons? How it can go in the future is something we have already published that one. Please take time to read it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And I have one more doubt.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, how the DevOps coming to data engineering? How the DevOps could you train on the DevOps practices as well, and how much coding, how much programming is required to be a good data engineer?
Let me answer first. Your first question was how hard for me to be a data engineer with the DBs, right? So
No. How hard? I'm not asking about hard thing. How
Mhm.
much programming or coding
no,
is
your
involved
second
in?
question. That's your last question. How much programming? How
Yeah,
much
yeah,
programming you need? So
yeah,
your friends told you saying that directly moving it to DP is something is a
yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah. That is my first question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm coming
carry
to
on.
okay.
Yeah,
This
carry on.
course is being designed in a way to teach from a fresher, a graduate passed out. Okay, from that point we have designed. So you don't need to worry. So we will learn from a very scratch, and we will be going to the above intermediate level of a knowledge. So okay, if you don't, as you are already aware of a Linux something, which that Linux activities will help you in when we go into an AWS and when we are learning in a NoSQL also. And you said you are already into cloud admin activities, right? So cloud
Yeah,
admin activities. So I don't need to use, you don't need to worry about terminologies when I talk about EC2 instances or compute instances or something like that, servers and all. So you would be well aware of it. Okay. So don't worry. If you don't know any database knowledge is also totally fine. We are going to learn from a scratch. Okay. So your second question,
yeah,
how much programming you needed? Okay. So when you ask me how much level of programming you needed, it's again, I would say from an experience perspective. So in this course, we are teaching a program where what are the programmings we are going to learn is one is a pure Python. Okay, pure Python we're going to learn. One is a SQL. Some people call it as a SQL programming also. SQL is just a language. Okay, so SQL also we are going to learn. Okay, a bit of PySpark style of data frame programming we will be learning. Okay, and then when we go into DBT, we will be learning called as a Zinza code we call. Not to worry, it's a simple Zinza code references, my macros and all. We'll try to put as simple as possible. Okay. So we teach this programming languages, till intermediate level. Okay, so we don't need to go into an advanced level of a learning in a Django or a Flask or something like that. So you have to understand writing a different dimensions of information. So we don't need to go on. We don't need to worry about a machine learning models and all learning over here. So we are going to put till the intermediate level. That is more sufficient even for an architectural role or senior lead. Okay, so whenever you go for an interview, so no one is going to ask you saying that let's write this model of your machine learning. Okay, they will ask you saying that how this particular library helps you, how you can able to crack this particular logic. Okay, if there is some systems like that, how you are going to integrate that systems, how you will debug the systems. Okay, this is what they will help you. Okay, that much level of programming is more than sufficient, I would call. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
As a prerequisite, you don't need to anything. If your question is still around that, do I need to know programming to enter this particular course? You don't need that. So as I already said that we designed this course, the people who are fresh into the market. Okay, did I answer your questions?
Yeah, Krishna.
Okay, perfect. Cool. So let me quickly remove this.
Krishna, Ravi had a question.
Hey, Ravi, go ahead, Ravi.
This training would be like how long, like how many hours? And you'll be conducting it or somebody else will take over?
I will be connected. I will be throughout the session, and there will be one more. My colleague will join sometimes. He will be helping out if there is any questions, but I will be driving the sessions. And every day it is going to be in a 1 hour 15 minutes to 1 hour 30 minutes extension based on the questions and all. And this course will go till the end of the March.
Oh, it's like 4 months.
Yeah, almost 4 months. Okay. Actually, he asked that is there any DevOps? Yeah, DevOps concept you asked, right? So no DevOps concept, Raj. Yeah, thanks, Sheikh, for highlighting this. Okay. So we are not going to touch DevOps. DevOps is totally a different world. Okay. So DevOps, we are not going to touch at all. So we don't talk about Nexus. We don't talk about the, Jenkins. We don't talk about any kind of deployments or the codings. Okay. So DevOps is totally a different thing. So data engineers, they work building the solution. Okay. To deploy the solution, that needs to be supplied by a DevOps team. DevOps team literally works on majorly Python or a Linux or a Unix systems. They will be working, writing a programming, okay, or utilize the existing tools like a Kubernetes, or there are multiple other tools are there, right? So they will utilize this kind of stuffs. Okay, so we don't touch that. That is purely a DevOps concepts. We don't touch any DevOps concepts here. Okay. Sir, one request, even if you don't cover the topics, please mention what types of tools are used, because few people's like me, 13+ years experience. Yeah, definitely, Sunil, we will mention that. Okay. So yeah, I think to that point, right? Let me come to this one. This is what I want to explain to him. Okay. So I will explain the same concept. Okay. What reality happens.
And Krishna, last question. So we'll get more opportunities for hands-on practical labs and everything.
Every completion of a topic, there is a hands-on and you have to complete that.
Awesome.
Okay.
And how to get access to Snowflake and all?
So we use a trial accounts. We use a trial accounts and we use the Git also. Okay. Trial accounts for each of this. MySQL is going to be a tool we will install Monday. I'll help you guys to install on your system. AWS S3 AWS will be there for 1 year. So you don't need to worry, but only you need to worry is you will be attaching your credit cards. So whatever I am teaching, probably you have to go follow that. If you want to go with your own knowledge, make sure you're not burning your credit card. Okay. Snowflake, we are going to get the trial account. Python, Visual Studio, I'll help you guys. We'll install and this is also no license stuff and all, right? Python architecture is something architecture, theoretical it is. Snowpark also comes with a Snowflake. So this is also 30 days trial period we will be getting. Okay. So after 30 days, it will expire, so that before it is expiring, right, every day's work, we will be saving it into Git. Okay. So that in case this also expires, we'll have our code, everything in Git, right? So simply pick it, execute in the first few hours, it will be done. Okay. Sure. AWS also 1 year. DBT you will be getting only for 15 days, but no worries. Okay. DBT classes will go only for 15 to 18 days. Okay. So, but we could able to cover it.
So DBT is basically for what reason?
So this is a transformations. Okay. So, yeah, if anybody have knowledge on Informatica or something, so we have an option called as a push down optimization.
Yeah, I'm from Informatica background.
Oh, perfect. Okay, you would have known this push down optimization.
Yeah.
Push down optimization means all the transformations, everything will happens on a target databases utilizing their own powers, capacities, not running anything, right? So Informatica, when you activate this push down optimization, it will not run on Informatica server. It will run on the database which you connected to that, mapping or a workflow, whatever you call it as. Okay. So here DBT also, you can do that kind of transformations in a reusable format. Okay. That is something you don't need to rebuild the code every time whenever you have a requirement. DBT is just use some kind of macros. So we'll talk about that macros. Using that macros, if 100 lines of code you're going to write, using a macros, you need to write probably 4 or 5 lines of code. Okay. And transformations also you can able to apply with very, very clean and neat way of transformations you can able to apply. And with this DBT, you will be getting a scheduler, you will be getting an alert notifications, you will be getting a DAX. Okay. DAX for any lineage understanding. So there are many other like this. Okay. Majorly it is for the transformations.
Okay. Yeah. So basically you transform and load the data to Snowflake, or you can use DBT in between the Snowflake also.
DBT provides a different adapters, Snowflake, PostgreSQL, Redshift, BigQuery, and one more it will provide. I guess I'm not remembering that. So for our program, so we will learn to do it on a Snowflake. So I'll quickly.
Krishna, I have one question. Krishna.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, see, last few years, like 5 years, right? The Hadoop was more popular, correct? It's a cheap commodity hardware, so more migrations were happening on the Hadoop side. So, what is the difference between Hadoop and Snowflake? Because Hadoop also stored structured, unstructured data, and it's a kind of a data lake, right? So, what's significant difference between Hadoop and Snowflake?
Small contradictory to this statement. Okay, so Hadoop gone. Okay, Hadoop is from last 5 years. The same statement. Last 5 years it is gone. Before 5 years, Hadoop. I wasn't a Hadoop developer, so I was there into Hive and all, Hive, Pig and all. I was there.
Okay.
So Hadoop, why Hadoop came in, right? So first thing in the Hadoop, right? So the master slave mechanism. This changed the way of processing the data. Okay, so one master will be there, multiple data nodes will be there, data will be scattered between all the data nodes at a single point of time. All the data nodes will wake up and start working for you. So which was generally in a different tools, which takes a 10 minutes. In Hadoop, it is going to take only 2 minutes because you have 5 data nodes. Every data node takes 2 minutes, so your results will come in a 2 minutes. So this was coming. Second one is Hadoop, the way of processing, right? MapReducer programs. They have introduced a called as a MapReducer, MR programming or MapReducer programming. We call.
Yeah.
The way inside the program happens, the mappers, sorts, shuffles, reducers, whatever it is. There are multiple classes, which is a Java language they have created. So this MapReducer program, how it reads the data at a time you have queried and break downs the data, and how it able to shuffles the data and give you a result. Okay, I'm just helping you to understand why Hadoop being highlighted at that particular point in time. Okay, but what happened is this Hadoop still is an on-premises only. Okay, so you will be hearing a word called as in clusters, Hadoop clusters, right? So if you understand, Hadoop clusters are local systems, hard disks only, hard disks as a servers. This only they will be doing, but only thing is they do a group of servers. Okay, a group of servers will stop working for you at a single point in time whenever you request it. Okay, what they do is one server, they will make it as a master. Okay, this guy will receive all the requests. There will be 10 servers in a backend, so we'll be work as a slaves. Okay, what this guy will do is this guy will receive the request and he will send this request to all these 10 servers. All the slaves will start working and the slaves will report to master and the output will come out to the user who have been queried. Okay, so Hadoop mechanism is perfect in processing the data. Okay, so I would say Hadoop is the one who taught this kind of processing to Spark, to Snowflake, to Databricks. You can call any other processing, right? Hadoop is the one, he's the teacher for all these guys to use the mechanism called as a master slave mechanisms. Okay, but what happened with Hortonworks, right? So what happened is they are into on-premises. There is no cloud. Okay, same again, when you come to this problem is there. When you are in on-premises side, this problem is there already. Okay, if you want to increase, you need to have a clusters, computers, wiring, and everything should be done. Okay, else Hortonworks, when they are into this Hadoop, when they had cloud, they would have been a super master cloud, in data engineering. Okay, but they are into on-premises. What they have to do is this particular Hadoop, whatever the work is happening in the Hadoop, let me complete that. Whatever the work is happening in this Hadoop, right? This style has been brought up into an AWS EMR, okay, which is called Elastic.
Correct.
Okay.
I thought of that. Yeah.
So when you go to in GCP, we have is a Dataproc. Okay. So in Azure, I think we call something else. So ignore that. So in Dataproc, and you will get EMR, you will be getting an Elastic MapReduce. Okay, so the same style, nothing changes. Okay, so you literally believe or not, in 2017 and 16, our work was we are moving into GCP. Pick the code, whatever the Python code or whatever the code we have written on in this Hadoop area in on-premises, copy, paste it into EMR. Okay, underlying cluster, Here it was an on-premises. Here it was a cloud. That's all we have done. Okay. So any lift and shift programs of an Hadoop, programs or migrations of a Hadoop is being converted to EMR. Okay. EMR and Dataproc. Okay. So because the underlying infrastructure here, it was in an on-prem, maintaining that was in a very good, very hectic and headache to the people. So they moved into the cloud. The cloud provided saying that I will provide you all the masters, all this one standalone modes you need in a high performance mode. You select whatever the performance modes you need it. Okay. Just tell me and put your code on top of it. Underlying whatever infrastructure you need it, right? I'll provide that for you. You don't worry about it all. Okay, so that's been decided. They moved it. And coming to the point you mentioned about data, type of a data. Okay, type of data, right? Type of data is not, Hadoop is a processing. MapReducer is the only heart of it. Okay, it's a processing and the mechanism, right? Master slave mechanism. But the data stores is in Hive or Pig or wherever you are going to store it. Okay, so you mentioned saying that Krishna, there are data lake. Okay, data lake. What is data lake? Okay, data lake is nothing but which doesn't have a definitive formats. Okay, it could able to digest any kind of data. So when you call it as an any kind of data, structured data, okay, semi-structured data or unstructured data. Okay, so it could lake means it should able to digest any kind of data. Okay, so in that senses, Hive Pig was all good because what they do is they will store in Hive, they store all the unstructured data also. While writing a select statement on top of the Hive, they will write the formatters. They'll format, parse the data, and they will be reading the data. Okay, so these things are very good highlight of highlight of this storing this data. Okay, so now the same things again to the point Hadoop what it taught to the other people. Same Hive is also hot and works only. So this Hive taught the same thing to the clouds. Okay, to have the data in AWS S3. Okay, blob storage, or you can call Google Cloud Storage. Okay, whatever the data you're going to store it on your Hive, the same data you can store it on these areas. It could be in any format. It could be a video or a file or a whatever you can call it. Okay, you can store it over here.
Okay.
On top of this, you can create your tables, Hive tables. Yeah, please. Did I answer your question? Who is that? Raj or someone asked, right?
No, myself, Ganesh.
Ganesh. Yeah. Did I answer your question, Ganesh?
Yeah, so that means you mean to say like because of the cloud, because that is even that is on premises. That is the reason.
Yeah,
because
that's the reason.
Snowflake.
Yeah, that's the reason. That's a whole reason. On-premise infrastructure they cannot able to maintain. Okay, similar, right? But how similar also I told you, right? Copy the whatever the program have written on this, copy paste on this EMR or a Dataproc, that works fine. Okay, so you can. This is a very important certification question when you go for the AWS. What is that? AWS Associated Data Engineer. You have a scenario where the Hadoop programs have been written. Hadoop programs has been writing in your on-premise already, but company decided to move it into a cloud, AWS cloud. Which service will help you for a lift and shift program? See, straight answer is AWS EMR. Okay, if you are giving GCP, straight answer is a Dataproc. Okay.
So that means Snowflake is having more advantage compared to a Hadoop solution. That's what, because EMR is also the cloud, right?
Oh, I didn't explain about the Snowflake. You compared with the Snowflake, right? I'm literally sorry. Yeah, Snowflake is also a format agnostic solution, so that whatever you can deal with in Hadoop, you can deal here also. Okay, in very simpler manner. Okay, in Hadoop, you have to use serialization, deserializations, and the formats you have to write it on a Hadoop is little, complexity. So Hadoop, if you see the configuration itself, our eyes will be rounding. Okay, configurations will be like very complexity of this configurations. Okay, because you have to, this architecture itself will be little complicated to understand. Primary nodes, secondary nodes, FS image, so little complicated. Okay, but when it comes to your Snowflake, what this guy say is you write whatever the data you wanted, I can able to digest it. And also you don't worry about how backend programming is happening, backend configuration happening. You don't worry about it. I will take care of everything. Okay. When you go to AWS EMR also, you have a little bit So now AWS EMR came in two concepts. Okay. One is AWS EMR, manually you have to configure it. One is serverless. Okay. I don't go what is serverless right now. That's a big topic. We'll go later. Okay. So if you are choosing AWS EMR manually, you want to set up, again, you have a headache warrior. What is the headache is you need to know what is your configurations. You have to set it up. Now we have Raj or someone, right, who is already doing cloud admin activities, right? So people like them will be maintaining this AWS EMR. I need an explicit guy who needs to maintain this kind of infrastructure for me. Okay. No, if I don't want this headache, if I want to go little free, if it costs little more is also fine for me, then you can go to the serverless concepts. Okay. So, but Snowflake says that you have only one option. That is something I'll maintain infra everything for you. Okay. You don't worry, load whatever the data you want to load it. What kind of data you want to load it. It's fine, totally fine. Okay. I can able to digest the data. While you're reading the data, you write queries however you want to do it. I am going to provide all these functionalities for you. Okay. So we have a project also this month. So we, as part of the Snowflake, we will be learning Parquet. Okay. JSON. Okay. And CSV. And so Avro also there, I believe. Yeah, Avro also one case study is there. So this all case studies we will be learning.
And one more thing is, see, in the AWS, we have Redshift, right?
Correct.
That's the cloud database, the competitor to Snowflake. So
Correct.
that means Snowflake is more advantage compared to like cost wise, compared to or performance wise. It is Snowflake is more edged towards Redshift. Is that
Yes.
because why the company should prefer Snowflake instead of Redshift?
Exactly right. So you already pointed out that. Okay. So first thing is Redshift is very specific to AWS. Okay. You should need your data into local AWS. Okay. Snowflake is a cloud agnostic which can connect to all the clouds. Okay. Second thing is the way the performance tuning whenever you need it in Snowflake is Z-easy. But when you go into Redshift, it's not that easy. You have to manipulate the clusters and all. You have to manually put the clusters and all there. Okay. You have to manually, maintain that. And cost perspective also directly, you cannot have this Redshift. So when you go for a billing and all, right, so you will see multiple characteristics in the billings. Okay. So Redshift will be little complicated and little costlier than, I don't say costly, little costlier at some cases. Okay. Then Snowflake. And Snowflake is not only a database. Okay. So keep in mind, Snowflake have a lot of other unique features that you can process the data, but Redshift doesn't have it. If you want to process the data, you have to go for another service in AWS that's called as an AWS Glue or AWS EMR, or AWS Lambda or something, whatever you need to go. Okay. Here, there, Redshift is just a database. Here, Snowflake is it's an ELT plus a data warehouse. Okay. So there are many other characteristics like this you can define. Snowflake is way ahead than Redshift.
Okay. And is there any new competitor, new products coming near threat is there for Snowflake? I know the
Databricks from last 1-2 years, right? Databricks is almost with Snowflake. Okay. So Databricks is there. The only reason is they came up with a concept called as a type of clusters and, the lake houses, right? So the lake house mechanisms. So that is, those concepts are little advanced than a Snowflake. Okay. But only the problem with the Databricks and why Snowflake is still holding that, market value is Snowflake. So now I would say, the marketplace, right? So now I would say I have introduced a product in a market where my target customers are medium level customers. Okay. That means common people. Okay. Not very high rich peoples. Okay. So where you are making the business. Okay. Business with Snowflake can fit it into any kind of environments. Okay. Cost you moderate. Databricks can do better things than Snowflake. Okay. You have to pay more, which is not necessary for a lot of companies. Okay. So you don't need to pay more and you don't need to do an extra additional activities, which you need to do. And training, getting in a Databricks is complicated than Snowflake. The reason is when you want to learn Databricks, you have to learn Spark, how Spark works in a backend, how Spark clusters works, what is all-purpose clusters, what is a job clusters. There are many other stuff is there with the Databricks. Okay, but Snowflake, we always say all Snowflake you need is something is just a SQL. Okay, you don't need to learn any kind of underlying architectures, how it works, how the data flows from there to here. Okay, so that's the whole complications we have with the Databricks. Okay, but to build the Databricks, Snowflake was the base to them. Okay, they have taken the level of the level of competency towards the Snowflake, then they have added a few other features to it. Okay, but you see almost levels, and Snowflake have a more market space than Databricks. Okay, only those two, nothing else. Okay, nothing else comes near to this ones. Then after this, what are this there? Redshift is there, BigQuery is there. Okay, after that, Synapses also is there. So you then later up those three you can able to quote it, and after that, still you want to go. It's based on the requirements. There are multiple databases. Okay, clouds are providing in AWS itself. You will have a DynamoDB, you have an RDS, you have a Redshift, you have an Aurora. So it's your wish. It's based on a requirement.
Those are all database, right? So the Snowflake, if you look at, it's a data warehouse.
Data
right?
warehouse.
So,
No, again, I'm saying that's a requirement, right? So if you want a data warehouse,
Yeah.
choose one. Your requirement is suffices databases. You can go to databases. Okay.
Okay. So maybe then we can expect next few years a lot of implement migrations happening on the Snowflake side, right? From the on-premises to Snowflake.
It's already happening.
Already happening.
It's happening from a very long back. Okay, now some companies, they have built a lot of frameworks in a Snowflake itself. They went way ahead. Now we are moved into Snowpark. Snowflake is something become now basics to everyone. Okay, now we moved into Snowpark. Okay, the Snowpark is something like all Python programming and implementing everything in a Snowpark. Okay, which is a serverless something. So we moved into Snowpark. That Snowpark been released only 2-3 months back. Very high level people know that Snowpark is there. Okay, now companies are already started working on the Snowpark and implementing everything on a Snowpark level.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then we can expect a lot of migration projects.
Definitely.
Implementation. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks.
No worries.
Thank you.
I'll quickly
Yeah,
take.
I have one question. It's regarding the like the program is for approx 4 months, right? So
Yes.
PySpark or the Spark is the core of data engineering, irrespective to on-prem or cloud, AWS, Azure, anything. So Spark is the core. It is there forever. So how much depth you would be covering the programming in the Spark? Because if we try to learn Spark, it can take up to 2 months or 3 months, pure Spark. So I just want to understand how much in depth you would be covering the Spark part.
Yeah. So
And my second question is, do you cover the event streaming or Kafka or something like that in AWS?
Event streaming, right? Both are event streaming. I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you that. Okay. Let me come to this points. These 3 questions, right? The first thing is Spark. Spark itself is not programming. Okay. Spark is a processing mechanism. Like I said, Spark, like I said in the Hadoop, right? Master slave mechanism, same stuff. Master slave mechanism copied from Hadoop only. Okay. So Spark also came from Hadoop. Okay. So Spark is not a programming, it's a master slave mechanism, which needs to be configurations, majorly configurations. What is master, what is one?
Yeah, it's basically in-memory processing.
Exactly. I'm coming to that point, right? So I'm coming to the RDDs, okay? Resilient distributed data, right? So here what happens is this happens to in-memory, okay? People who doesn't know in-memory, right? I'll give you just one example, okay? Just a second, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. Okay, so people who doesn't know in-memories, right? So let me tell you this very simple examples. Okay, so now I asked you to say that what is 1 plus 2. Okay, then what is 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 4, 1 plus 2 plus 5, 1 plus 2 plus 6. Okay, what you'll do? 1 plus 2. Okay, 3. You remembered it. Okay, when you remember it, it's in memory. Okay, so but in Hadoop, what happens is this 3 will get right into inner disk. Okay, this 3 here in memory. Okay, in memory means there is a storage, racks will be available. It will kept it in memory locations. Okay, so to read the data. Now, if I say 1 + 2 + 3, which is a 6 to me, what I'll do, I'll remember 3, which is already there in my memory. 3 + 3 is 6, I can remember. But when you say Hadoop, add 3 to this, what it will do is, it will read the data from disk, okay? Have it on this calculation window, 3 + 3 is equals to 6. Again, write it back to disk, okay? So inputs and outputs, writes and reads happen to the disk, which is going to take a lot of time for you, okay? Writes and reads are going to take a lot of time for you, okay? But same concept, okay? Same, everything is literally same. This is nothing but in a Spark when you just replace a word called as an in-memory. Okay, what this guy will do is, this guy will keep this in memory and do +3 is equals to 6. It will keep it in memory again. Okay, in memory means it's a disk only, which will be always an active. Okay, which will be always active, which will not go into something like, okay, I stored it something. It will not say I stored, I will sleep. It will not store. It's a store and active. Okay, so 6. It's keep it in memory. Once this all the operation is completed, all the memory will be wiped off. Okay, so as it is keeping in memory, the actions or operations is going to be a super fast. Okay, this is the only change when you compare with a Spark and a Hadoop. Anybody who have a Spark knowledge over here, do you think that is there anything else you can able to differentiate between a Hadoop and Spark?
The optimization in Spark is far better.
Optimization, yeah, so optimizations, you can write that optimizations in Hadoop also. All you need an extra programming. Apart from that, processing, what Spark gives you. Optimizations is something you have to apply, okay, or something comes from by default. Okay, so but what happens when you do into Hadoop? So that's something you can implement it, writing some program or something. Okay, apart from that, your backend missions works in a similar fashion. Okay, so what we are going to do is, this is something is in a Spark architecture. After that, what you do is you will write a PySpark programming, which is it's a Spark program. This is not always you have to write it in a Python. Spark can able to take Java, Spark can able to take Scala also. Okay, you can write anything. Okay, you can write any programming language to communicate with your Spark to process your data. Okay, so now coming back to your question, so we will be learning about this architecture, how it works. The only reason, actually it was not part of the plan, but we added this part of the plan because nowadays, at least they're asking, saying that, do you have a knowledge on a Spark? It's not programming is totally fine. So programming, right? So what I'm saying is here also, when you write a PySpark code, so what you will write, majorly you will be writing a data frames. Okay, what do? You read some data from a data set, okay, convert it as a data frame, apply your logics on a data frame and write it into file or write it into table. That's what we're going to do. This data frame programming, yes, we are going to learn. Okay, but where we write this all code, we will write this code in a Snowpark. Okay, now I'm saying when you do it on premises of a Spark, you have to configure this everything. Spark, all the Spark technical stuff, you have to configure everything. Okay, here when you come to Snowpark, what you need to do is, all you need to write is a Python data frames. Using this data frames, you can use the Snowpark will give you all this configuration ready available to you. It will say all you need to do is just execute your program. I will provide you everything, warehouses, clusters, working mechanisms, optimizations, functionalities, everything to you, you can utilize. Okay, so to your question, this is where we are going to do it. As you said, PySpark, only PySpark, sorry, only Spark you want to learn it, you need more than 3 to 4 months. Okay, so we don't need that. We want to show up saying that we have a knowledge, but we have a knowledge that on the rare tool, which is no one else is having right now in the market. Okay, PySpark, you can find the people. Okay, but yes, there is a demand. I don't call it as something which is also very good technology, I would call, because I do have worked for a couple of years on it. Okay, so yes, we know data frames. So someone asks you saying that, can you write a program? Can you write a data frame for me? So whatever I write a data frame here, you will write the same kind of data frame in your when you're writing a PySpark. Okay, so we are covering in a different perspective in a serverless mechanisms, so that you don't need to work on any Spark programming. But why I have added architecture to this is, we want people to know how backend the mechanism it is really working. Okay, for that only we have added a couple of classes to understand the Spark architecture. Okay, did I answer your question? First question.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So second thing, right? So events, yes, events is a different events. Okay, so event triggers and all we will learn. So step functions, Okay, when you go to the event step functions or Lambda triggers, okay, SQS/SNS, okay, this event triggers and all we will be learning. So we have a hands-on also on this one. So as think that there is a real time, there is a data processing should happen. That means there is something happened, event generated, and your work should be complete. Okay, that we will be doing based on an event. We will trigger, AWS Glue and all. We will be learning. Kafka is not added. Okay, Kafka is not part of it, so we didn't add it. But again, the reason is this course will go very long. Okay, so it's not like all together we learn, right? So Kafka, we are actually planning a one more course where we want to fit in a Kafka. Okay, but only learning Kafka with something else is not going to help you. Okay, Kafka is one of the requirement, but it's not a main requirement for us, because as a data engineer, you will be not doing anything in this Kafka. Data pipelines, brokers, topic list, everything will be configured by your management systems. All you do is you will connect to the Kafka. Okay, you will give your runtime schedules and you will be extracting the data. Apart from that, you as a data engineer, you're not doing anything. Our GraphQL is something you will be writing to just see the data, how it is coming. Okay, in an unstructured way, right? So we want to add this Kafka really, but not into this course. Okay, so apart real-time streaming data, how can we read that, Krishna? Is so we will be learning as part of a Snowflake, we will be learning a Snowpipe. Okay, which is a real-time services. As soon as that that particular thing is happened, the Snowpipe automatically identifies something has been happened, and that needs to be loaded. Okay, that real time we will be learning. On the AWS side, we will be learning the event triggers. Okay, did I answer your second question?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. So let me take these questions, guys. Hi Krishna, for a fresher, which is the best technology to learn, start a IT career sector? An AWS data engineer, a full stack Power BI with Fabric tools. Full stack Power BI is also good, I would say, but Power BI is a reporting tool, right? So I would say always data engineering having a higher capacity than Power BI, because without a data engineer, Power BI is nothing to do, because unless you don't have a data in a prepared manner, so Power BI cannot able to read the data from somewhere. Okay, so AWS, sorry, data engineering is something is a major, you will find a lot of opportunities. I won't say Power BI is also having an capacities, but always you can compare in the market, right? So if you have 100 jobs in a data engineering side, Power BI, you will find 50 jobs. Okay, my opinion, because my experience, I'm saying that, but you can still do as you are, Dinesh. I said that always do your due diligence and search in Google, find out the best and come out. Okay, but I'm suggesting that which technology have more openings. So whatever the technologies, lot of technologies have their openings, Dinesh. So we came up with this technical staff as there are a lot of opportunities for this. Okay, what is DBT transformations example? So DBT transformations example is something you want to write some kind of business rules and doing some kind of aggregations. So you want to create some models. Okay, so example, I would say, what is the revenue generated for last 10 years? Okay, you have to apply all kind of transformations, reading from multiple tables, doing multiple joins, applying some kind of transformations, lead lags, lot of things, right? Kind of a SQL only. Okay, SQL with a different configurations, but only thing is you don't directly write it in a SQL way, you will write it in a Zinza or macros way. So that is going to help you. What is GGS? It is not GGS, it's a GCS, Google Cloud Storage. It's a storage, how like S3, how like a blob is there, right? It is that. What would be the size of the in-memory? So in-memory size, Srinivas, again, it will be defined in the configurations. Okay, so there are like a shared memories, inside memories. Memory, you have to define the GBs. So they will put it in the configurations. Okay, is there any connection between MLOps and data engineering? So again, we went into machine learning. So okay, MLOps is majorly training the models. Okay, to do the training the models, you need a data, and the data will be prepared by the data engineers. A simple answer. Okay, did I covered everyone's questions?
I have one more question. I mean, do freshers get a chance to work in data engineering irrespective to the cloud or on-prem? So do
Yes.
company prefers freshers as well for data engineering role?
Yes, they will prefer. Okay, so I would say, right, so in my first class also I was saying, so a freshers means who are passed out graduates, you mean? Passed out graduates, you mean? Sorry, you able to hear me? Okay, passed out graduates. Right? That's what I was saying to yesterday, especially for you guys, right? Who are graduates are there. So you will be in your last semester or 4th year, right? So by running this training courses parallelly after each completion of the course, there are some free training certifications are available. I would suggest and request you guys to complete that. Okay. If you complete that, you definitely becomes a unique person when you go for an interviews, and they will identify you as you are already having a technical stack. They will be helping you out. Okay. And they will put you directly into data engineers. No, if you want to apply outside as a fresh graduates, right? Yes, you can apply. There will be a lot of fresh graduates interns will be running. Okay, a lot of companies will run every year, right? So you can apply and have your resume that you have covered it all this months and your certifications also completed. So you will stand unique and you will definitely find an opportunity. Okay, did I answer your question? Shashar. Oh, sorry if I spelled your name wrong. Yeah, you have question? Okay. Any other questions, guys? My whole intention of the class is today actually different, but we spent. Are there any assignments? There are a lot of assignments, Salman. Yes, there are assignments. For Snowflake itself, you'll have a 3 main assignments and everyday hands-on, and last one you'll have a project. AWS, every topic you have in a hands-on, and last one you will have an assignment. SQL is something we will provide you a small project to implement it. Okay. DBT, we don't have any project. That's just a practice. Every day you have to complete your hands-on and you have to practice it. Okay. Python, you have a migration project. So once we will explain it, you have a different migration project. So you have to have a new tables. So we will provide 3-4 tables to you. Using the tables, you have to read everyday data and have to implement the CDCs and the streams and the tasks, everything, whatever we learn, right? So that you have to implement it. Okay. And using this Python, you have to load the data into AWS S3. And from there, you have to write a AWS Glue and have to load the data into Redshift. That's also one more assignment is there. Is there any chance to change the timings from 6 to 7:30? Sorry, Srinivas. No, it's not 6, Srinivas. It is 6:30. Okay. 7:30 is definitely not possible because we have a working professionals over here, including me. Okay. So this sometimes goes 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Okay. So they have to catch up the office. So that's the whole reason. Last time we had from 7 to 8:30 is the batch which was running. Still people were traveling and, attending the classes.
No, I mean to ask from morning 6 to 7:30 a.m. because I'm also working professional. That's what.
7:30 p.m. you mean?
Sorry, a.m.
7:30 a.m. only, right? 7:30 a.m. becomes late, right? 7:30 a.m. to 1.5 hour, 9 o'clock. You have to clock your by 9:30 or 10 o'clock, no?
No, Indian timings I'm telling morning 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m.
6 a.m. to 7:30. Oh, you are from US?
No, India.
India. Oh, 6 to 7:30 you want to change. Okay. 6 to 7:30, I will be still in my dreams, boss. Okay. Yeah, no, 6 becomes a little early also, other folks, right?
Fine, it's okay.
Okay.
Having a word with you.
Yeah. That's okay. Okay. We will be
I have a
getting.
question. I did ping you. So I did see regarding the job assistance you would provide after the course. Do you do that outside India or just for India?
So can you elaborate that job assistance means?
Yeah, you just mentioned 100% job assistance. I don't know what that means. That's why I was trying to clarify.
Assistant means we will be, so there is a everyday placement cell call will happen, Soumya, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So every day there will be a placement call will happen at 11 o'clock at India time. Okay. So there we will be asking your resumes and we have some contacts outside. Okay. And we get all the opportunities handy and we will be talking to each and everyone that whether they have applied for that opportunity, whether they have taken an interview, what's happening with an interview, or they need any help in that way. Okay. In other sense also, just to give you an example, right? So yesterday also I've been talking to one of my, previous batch persons. Okay. He got some questions, some requirements in his project. Okay. So he needs to approach how that approach needs to be done. Okay. In that scenarios also, whenever we get a time, we will be helping them to make them understand the requirements and how can they will cope up with this existing project. We'll be doing that. Addition to that, so Indian folks who are trying to find an opportunities, right, in this technical stack, we internally run some projects. Okay, if you really fit for, you complete all the assignments and we arrange some interviews. If you really crack those ones, we internally hire the people and we provide the salaries. Okay, so I think great with more experience.
Okay,
Always go good. we'll be getting any reading material, repository access, we can reference to have to go to material whenever we want to go back and revise. Yes, Madan. So once you start, so once after the paid session starts, right? That's from next Wednesday onwards. Okay. So you will get a website, you will get a one, window. So let me show you that window also, guys. So you will be, you will be going to this website, right? So you will get a student dashboard. Okay. You will be getting like this. You will get access to this particular portals. Okay. Once you get into this portals, you can see all the trainings what we had, and each and every training, whatever the notes we are preparing in the class, right, that I will be uploading by end of the day, or sorry, end of the class. And that video also will be, recording will be available for throughout your lifetime. Okay, that will be available for you, and you can go anytime, go back and you can read that notes and go through that recording, and you can continue your practices. Okay, and in between that, you will be seeing, we will be providing exams, mock tests, assignments and projects will be submitted. That shows as a different, like a projects like that, it will show you. Okay, Madan, did I answer your question? And also we have a portals. I think, I don't know how many of you folks has there. We have a reading materials also. Okay, let me try to show you guys. So I don't know, somehow this window is not going further. Okay, tomorrow, next class, I'll show you. Okay, so we have an articles and blogs also we will be writing on a different talks. Yesterday, you would be seeing one of our admin has been posted one, what is a cloud? So what is the difference between AWS, Azure, and the whole public clouds, right? So what are the public clouds are there? So we have presented an article like that. You will be in a student window, you will be getting in a blogs here, articles. For every technology, we have an articles, and wherever we see that the concept is very good and people to understand more theoretically to go inside, that articles will help you to read out also. With examples also we would have provided. Somehow I lost my student access. Okay, so what I'll do is in next class, I'll show you guys how you can able to go through that articles and read it. Okay. Yes, we will have, will we have access even after course? Yes, Madan, you will be having access even after. Okay. Your course will not end, I'm saying, right? You will be traveling with us until you find a job and you settle in your job. Any other questions, guys?
And Krishna, actually, what would be the like a project duration whenever we go to the projects, right? Will it be a long-term project? What would be the day-to-day activities with respect to data engineering, right? So will be getting a short-term project or scope for long-term project is there, a maintenance project, something like that?
There are different types of projects. Can you know
Mhm.
Ganesh, right?
Ganesh.
So Ganesh,
Yeah.
there are different types of projects, Ganesh. So there are 100 varieties if you ask me. Okay. So, but let me put it into three simple things, right? So one is project. Okay. One is enhancements.
Mhm.
Okay. One is maintenance. I'm not going to testing, this and all is not our works. Okay. So we don't worry about this. Project is nothing but which starts from a scratch, something you have a vision, you have some idea that you have to implement. Okay. That starts from a scratch. When it says scratch, requirement starts. Okay. Creating data onwards from scratch data. Okay. So enhancements is something that project is already implemented. Okay. Project is implemented or which might be running also. Okay. So you will get an extra ask over there saying that, okay, can you add this one also? Can you change this requirements? Or else project is completed. Can we add this feature? Okay. Or I need some other tables to be created. So this additional tables, I need it in this particular data marts or somewhere. Okay. This kind of minimum requirements. Okay. Small requirements. There won't be small requirements. The requirements can run from 1 to 3 months or 6 months also. This also we call it as enhancement. What they do is they'll pick 10 enhancements and they'll give it as a one requirement that might go for 1 to 6 months. Okay. But you have an existing project. On top of it, you are applying enhancements. Okay. So you are getting this kind of request also. Maintenance. What is kind of maintenance is something project is implemented. After project went into production or something which is running environment. Okay. You will be finding a problems. Okay. Problems like something is a failing, running for a long time. Okay. Or something can be optimized. Okay. Or something like what you can say, running for a long time causes you have a multiple other problems. Okay. You have to fix this kind of issues. Okay. Who will fix these issues is again data engineers. Okay. They'll find the problem, what problem is happened. Okay. They will come to the dev, pick that particular work. Okay. See what is happening there and see optimize you can do and you can deploy it again there into the productions. Okay. Majorly when you go into projects, it will fall under these three categories. Okay. There could be many others inside this one project itself. There could be many. Okay. So enhancements are types of different types of enhancement. It could be a data, it could be data went wrong, a data quality, it could be a data mining, it could be a data analysis, it could be a data integrity problems, it could be. There are many things that happens. Okay. But majorly it happens under these three, verticals.
Okay, thank you, Vishnu. And will you be covering the Snowflake, the administration side, the part of curriculum?
Not totally, but wherever there is a possibility, I will highlight. I mean, I will be, telling to note down that points also. Okay. So RBAC, role-based access controls, and how you can give a masking policies. How can you, read the masking policies? How can you set the configurations? How can you set the session configurations? So this and all I'll be teaching. Okay. I would say 80% of admin activities also we will covering it. Okay. But I would say you have to put little more. Usually admins, right? You have to understand the problematic situation over there. What can go wrong if I give an access to someone else? Okay. That and all, that ideology, I don't bring it up because my whole intention of this one is in a data engineering level. I don't want to confuse people with the two other roles, right? So, but you will know that the content, once you read that particular concept anywhere in the Google saying that what admin will do, when say this is what they have to be implemented, that implementation is something we would have been already done as part of our work. You would be knowing the topics, how to be done, everything. That's not going to be a new to you. Okay. Only the ideology is something you have to build yourself.
Okay, but Snowflake admin, we get a separate JD and we get a scope for that.
If you find 100 jobs for a Snowflake data engineer, you will find one admin, probably two admins.
Yeah, that's a sad story. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the requirement will be very less.
Yeah. We don't need admins. Snowflake is maintaining everything for us.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Krishna, what about the analytics part? I mean, from Snowflake to Power BI?
No, sorry, who is that?
So Venu,
Venu, Power BI visualization is not part of this, Venu. So we are into only data engineering concepts. So you would be knowing that we are #1 Power BI trainers in India, right? So KSR Data Vision. If you really wants to upskill your knowledge after this session, after this course, right? You can take 1-2 months of training with 1 month or 2 months of training on a Power BI. If you really want to build that side. But yes, there are opportunities, Venu. I'm not depreciating that, right? So there are plenty of opportunities. If you know Power BI also, you'll become like a full stack data engineer, I would say. I won't say this data engineer also, data reporting also will become.
Let's say if I have a Snowflake, Medallion, or a AWS or Power BI, so is that a good, will that make a good resume for me?
Yes, that's a very good. So you are a full package to me. I don't need to hire a reporting. So now usually what happens is data engineers will do all this data mining, integral transformations, everything, and they get the data ready for me. Okay. Then I need to hire a data reporting person who works on the reporting Tableau or Power BI, Cognos or whatever it is. They reports and show the data to me, to the executives, right? So now if I hire you, you only can do end-to-end for me, visualization, and finally data executive will take a decision. So that's an easy process to me.
So here, I mean, if AWS or Databricks or Azure Data Factory, so which one is we can choose for Azure Databricks or Azure Data Factory? I mean, coming to the Snowflake for ETL perspective.
So you don't need ETL perspective. ETL is a process again. You don't need ETL tools here. Okay. You don't need ETL tools. So all the way, right? So anyone says that what ETL tools so those ETL tools are different. Okay. All the time it is been, the perception being built in everyone is something that ETL is something like a tool. ETL is not a tool. Have anyone know that there is an ETL tool? The name called is an ETL tool. There is nothing. Why Azure Data Factory they are calling? Why they are calling Azure ETL tool? ETL is a process. Okay, ETL is a process. It's a simple extract, transform, and load. Okay. If anybody asks you saying that, have you ever worked on ETL? Yes, I can implement the ETL process using a Snowflake. So you guys, believe or not, I can do ETL inside a MySQL itself. Okay, I can extract the data from one table. I can transform it in a different fashion. Okay, whatever the transfer rules that they needed, and I can load the data into same MySQL server. Okay, I can do that process there itself. Now, what is the benefits of the ETL tools is something that, so ETL processing tools is something that which can integrate with the different other services. That is like example, you take Informatica. Okay. So what happens? It can connect to the Oracle, it can connect to the MySQL, it can connect to the BigQuery, it can connect to the anything. Okay. That's the only thing they are doing. Connectors they are giving. Okay. But that connectors is not going to help you to do an ETL activity. ETL is something you have to do an activity. Okay. ETL is a process where someone asks you saying that, have you ever worked on ETL? Yes, ETL process, we worked it. Okay. So we extracted from MySQL, we transformed using inside a Snowflake, or Python, we have transformed it and we loaded into Snowflake. That's the ETL process. Okay. So
I mean, can't we connect from Snowflake to data stage or Informatica, any other files or Excel files?
you
And
can,
get them?
you can. Snowflake have a lot of JDBC connectors. Snowflake provides JDBC connectors, ODBC connectors. You can connect directly Spark using Spark. You can connect Python. You can connect Java. You can connect Scala. You can write Node.js language. Okay. You can connect with anything. I won't say not only Snowflake, Databricks can connect, AWS Redshift can connect, everything it can able to connect. Okay. Their first anytime, any tool, if they are introducing in the market is, first they should work on this one. Okay. So first thing is they will come up and say that, yeah, we could able to integrate with any existing tools or a new tools also. Either it could be a programming tools, either it could be in a ETL processing tools like an Ab initio, data stage, or whatever you can call it. Data stage also have a Snowflake connector. Okay. Data stage is
What about the external storage for these tools?
External storage for these tools. When you say external storage, what kind of storage?
I mean, if you are pulling the data from Informatica to Snowflake, so I think the Informatica to Snowflake, Snowflake will consider as a data warehouse. How the connector will, the storage will in between these two systems, if I talk that.
So what happens is, think that you are Informatica guy. Okay.
Okay.
So now in our language, let's call it as an ETL tool. Okay. It's ETL tool. Okay. ETL tool means this tool can process the ETL work. Okay. That's the meaning of it. So think that you have a work called as an Oracle. Okay. And finally you want to load it into Snowflake. Okay. In Informatica, if you go to the connector sessions, in connector sessions, you will find a connector called as a Snowflake connector. Okay. You will map your Snowflake connector, and in same connectors, you will be finding another connector called as an Oracle connector. Okay. So this connector reads the data Oracle and it comes to Informatica here, right? Informatica will have this own storage. Okay. What is the storage for this one? Anybody can guess? Freshers, I'm not expecting, experienced people, and we have Informatica. Now I'm saying Informatica is a tool where the storage comes for this Informatica. The data Oracle tools, Informatica tool, it came in. Now Informatica, do I have the space to store it? Anybody knows?
I mean, it don't have the storage.
Where?
I mean, internally, Informatica does not have any storage. I mean, we need to load the data from any other databases or files or as a cloud. So we are as storages, we can store.
Let's put it as a files only. Okay. So files is there. Okay. So now where Informatica have a storage to store these files? Where exactly it will store?
It stores in the data. Informatica is just a process, like it just flows the data from one end to another end with all the transformations.
Perfect. So you think that this stage is completed. Now it entered into Informatica. It has to do all the transformations, logics and all. But if I want to do some transformations, means it has to be there some space I need to do. So something, see what happened is you have a requirement. I want to build a table for you. You have wood already handy. So wood is there. You have passed the wood to me. I have to make it as a table. So if I want to make it a table, I have to store that wood somewhere with me, right? Some space, I have to build it. I have to store that wood somewhere. So where I can store that wood?
Warehouse.
No, we don't do it in warehouse. A warehouse, yeah. Then you call it warehouse, yeah. So let's call it as a warehouse. Now I am doing my woodwork in a warehouse. So I'll store it in a warehouse. Okay. What happens in Informatica?
I mean,
so
temporary storage where we can have a lookup or files.
Have you ever heard about Informatica will be landed on top of Unix or Linux? Informatica people, your Informatica servers, Informatica will be installed on top of a Unix servers. Informatica is directly is happens or anything. You need a Unix servers. You will be logging to the Informatica servers using Unix. Your storage comes from here.
Oh,
Okay. This doesn't have any storage capacity. This is just a tool. This is a software. This software doesn't have any storage. Okay. It neither connects to the internet. It neither uses your hard disk. Okay. What it do is it uses this Unix. Okay. This Unix is where they put the storage. Where this storage comes, where this storage will be doing, your Unix team or a Linux team, they call it as a NAS, which is called as a network access storage, they call. So over network, it will be there. Your Unix will be connecting to the storage, or your Informatica will use this one. So once it reads the data from an Oracle, it comes to the Informatica location, stores the data into this NAS, and do all the kind of transformations and before it pushing into the Snowflake. Okay. So now if you are calling this is an external storage, internally it happens in a Unix. For a Snowflake, where it will happens, Snowflake it happens is Snowflake is a smart guy. So Snowflake, I'm not review. So we don't need to talk about more about it. Snowflake doesn't have any. It's not a cloud. I was already mentioned. Snowflake is not a cloud. It's not providing any. Snowflake guy, what it will do means internally, he buys a space from some cloud. I don't call which cloud it is also. Okay. This cloud also, there is a big discussion for it. Okay. Internally, it buys a space from a cloud and he stores here. Okay. So you don't need to worry. If Snowflake guy says that you don't need to worry. Okay. That's something I will maintain. But here in Informatica, what happens? Unix or Linux team should have to maintain this. Okay. If you're calling this internal storage, sorry, external space for this particular tools. So Snowflake uses a different cloud. Here Informatica uses a Snowflake. Okay. Did I answer your question?
No, different cloud in the sense, different, like the AWS only, right? The cloud, AWS, Google, right? That's what storage, correct? That's what you're talking.
No, so Snowflake is a cloud agnostic. We didn't go to that point. Okay. Snowflake is a cloud agnostic. This can connect to AWS, GCP,
Yeah.
Okay, Azure, right? Different cloud means where you are saying this one you are saying.
Yeah, yeah. You're saying that some cloud you mentioned, right? That is AWS only, right? AWS, GCP.
No, it's not mandatory AWS. Okay. So yes, I think if you have read any articles or if you have heard from anyone, majorly it is exposed from AWS only. Okay. But it not happens that way. It's some kind of mathematical calculations happens. Okay. Some place. So I don't want to confuse. Okay. Some places how it happens is really Snowflake maintaining their own data centers at some places, exactly Australia and US, some place, okay, I'm really not sure. Snowflake itself have their own data centers, okay, like how AWS is maintaining, right? They're maintaining there, okay? But Snowflake, when it comes to different other locations at a different continents like India, like you go to Germany, Denmark, Belgium or some places, right? So they go with AWS very high level, right? So if you think high AWS, they mostly use it. The reason, going back to the yesterday's class, I said that AWS is the one cloud services spreaded across different continents with high availability zones. Okay. So if you missed yesterday's class, you listen there. Okay. So what Snowflake has done is, if Snowflake wants to store some data, so now you are storing the data, you are working from a Denmark. Okay. You are doing these activities. Snowflake you are using. Denmark, what Snowflake will do is Snowflake will use nearby AWS Denmark data center to do your all works. Okay, to do your all works, they will be taking care. Okay, but there is a hidden something. Okay, it's not always an AWS. So what happens is Snowflake in some countries, okay, wherever they think that AWS probably is a little costly for me for some activities. Okay, there are some, they have chosen Azure plus GCP for some operations. Okay, highly they used AWS. Okay, some continents, yes, they have used Azure and GCP also. In some places, they use their own data centers to store the metadata. Okay, metadata, but not an actual data, they will call it. Okay, so this is something people who understand this concept understand it. If not, this is totally fine. Okay, this is how I'm saying Snowflake is also a company. Okay, so while they're providing the services, they have to save their money also. In what way their money is, they play all these games. Okay, as a customer, we don't need to worry about it. As a customer, end of the day, I made an agreement with Snowflake. You should make sure my data is available to me all the time. You do whatever you do it. If I query it now, I need my data to be available. It should be secured. It should be encrypted. Any breach happened from a Snowflake, so you have to pay me this much penalty. I'll go with this agreement with it. Okay, how backend they work, how they will start maintaining the securities, how they will make sure this data is available, is all there. Okay, but people, how it works is this is how it works. Okay. Did I answer your question? Why only AWS? It's not only AWS. Okay, highly they use AWS because of the high availability zones of an AWS, because Snowflake also into the market from 2012. Okay, 2012 they went into this testing rate, some period we call. Okay, I don't know exactly that word. Okay, they go into some period, and 2014 is something they came into the market. Okay, by this time of 2014, who is the highest cloud provider is AWS. Okay, that's the whole reason they have been landed there. Most of the data centers Snowflake utilizing is an AWS. Okay, slowly GCP, Azure came into the market, and they started using this one also wherever it is needed. But most of the areas it is in AWS. Okay, could I get?
So Krishna will be dealing with all the AWS aspects of data engineering also, and from Snowflake perspective also, right?
Yes, Snowflake is Snowflake. AWS is AWS. We want to prepare the person to both AWS Snowflake developer and AWS developer. Okay, wherever you get chance, you will jump in. Okay, so let me quickly see how many end-to-end projects will be. So as I think I already answered this, Ashar, right? So we will be doing for every concept, we will be doing one end-to-end project. Okay, whatever we discussed in the previous topics, and we will be covering projects. Okay, integrating all the technologies. Okay, could I get your number? Sheikh, you can contact my admins. Okay, you would have that number. Okay, you can contact them. They will connect with me. Okay, they are the first point of contact. They will connect with me. Srinivas, what level of SQL we needed for the Snowflake? So you need to know basic SQL is enough, Srinivas. Okay, but you know prerequisites. But when you are learning Snowflake, I will be teaching you a bit of JavaScript, how to write the stored procedures, your user-defined functions, and views, how to write it. So there and all, we will be using little bit complicated SQLs. Okay, just using some kind of lead lags like that. Okay, Srinivas, no. What is no S3? S3 we will be learning. It is a process. It process in the Oracle only server. Srinivas, your question is breaking. Okay, I couldn't able to get it properly. Server S3 server. Yeah, we will be learning S3 server. How to integrate data with a front-end web app using API. Salman, front-end web app is something we are not going to teach it here. How they do it is via HTMLs and Java. There is a JQL they call. It's called a Java query language is there. Okay. So if you're using a Java, if you are using a Python, so both are front-end web apps can use any technologies, right? Either Java or you can go with the Python. So what they use is they use this backend databases only to read it. Okay, how it happened now, if I click this stop share, right? So there will be a request will send to the backend, and then it will stop that one. Okay, while it is stopping, it will go the request to the database, and it will share that, okay, Krishna has clicked this particular button at 8:09. Okay, guys, any other questions? Last questions. Okay, last couple of questions I'll take. Okay, can I take that silence as no questions?
I mean, Shekhar, I mean, sorry. Any on-site opportunity, I mean, for this kind of combination Snowflake and AWS?
There are on-site opportunities. I think last week we had one of the person, he given an interview. I met to know that whether he has gone or not. Okay. Intellect is hiring Snowflake developers from India for UK. Okay. And last 5 months back or 4 months back also, there is a London exchange, stock exchange, right? Martin, I guess. Martin, who is driving this project from London. They were being hired few people for a UK, and now they are hiring for a Bangalore and Chennai location. Okay. Yes, you will find an opportunities. And right now you see Thailand and somewhere else also there are some on-site opportunities are going on. So you can search that in LinkedIn.
Yeah, Vietnam and more.
Yeah, there are opportunities, but offshore opportunities, yes, there are plenty of opportunities. Anyway, last question, yeah, Madan. Sorry, Prithviraj. Right?
Yeah, hi Krishna. So we are using that hands-on practice on AWS, right? Services.
Yes.
So,
each and every service is completed. You will be doing that hands-on.
Yeah, the AWS is free account, right? Free
1 year it is a free account.
Yes. So while using that services like Amazon EMR something, whatever we use that for that is in the project.
Mhm.
So even you can use that EMR more than 7 minutes, you will get the cost, right? One master nodes and 2 slave nodes. So
Yeah.
how
So
we can control the cost while
yeah.
using
So
this hands-on practice time?
exactly right. So I would be very cautious of doing whenever I raise that one, right? So do it as minimum as possible to the time, because what happens is explicitly with EMR, okay, glue and all is totally fine. Only with EMR we had this problem. So what happens is when you onboard the cluster itself takes a 2 to 3 minutes to onboard provision, okay. And once you implement that code, then what happens is it is going to be a long time, okay, long time and running this one, right? That's going to be a cost. So what I would saying is prepare all your nodes, templates and everything upfront, okay, onboard it, and as soon as you implement that, check your output and close and delete your all clusters. Okay. So there I have seen few of my folks got 30 rupees to 100 rupees charged in their credit cards. It happened. Okay. So yes, we should be cautious. That's where I would be always saying that whenever we're dealing with this AWS services, okay, we have to be very, very cautious. Okay. And what happened is one more example I'm just giving. We have created a Lambda event triggers. Okay. As soon as the file arrives in S3, the Lambda should run. Okay. So one of our previous start of this year, there is a batch. Okay. That person has uploaded small files, some 1,000+ files he has done. And Lambda was keep triggering. It is been executed. Okay. He also been charged somewhere 300 to 400 bucks of money. Okay. So I would be saying that's what I was highlighted at the initial state also, right? When I was saying the trial account. So whatever I'm going to say, please implement that. Don't go more than that. Okay. If you want to really explore more than that, you have to bear the cost. Okay. Or if you're already working with any of your companies, right? So you can request that company to open an account for you and you can practice. Okay. And there is one more student rules. Okay. Anybody students are already into graduates here, right? Those students, you can write a mail to directly to Amazon. Okay. If they feel really your intention is good and you want to learn something, they will provide you with some 3 months of course with more credits. Okay. So that will help you a lot to do this all kind of practices. Unfortunately, yes. Who was that question asked? Yeah. Unfortunately, yes, we have to be a little cautious because your credit card is directly attached to it. Only AWS is something we have that problem. Did I answer your question, Prithvi?
Yeah, Krishna.
Yeah.
Hi, Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Bhumika. Yes, you are.
Yeah. So I got to know from the admin team that the recordings will be available till 1 year only and not lifetime. Is it
I
like
think
that?
that website got changed now, Bhumika. So we had a previous website. Okay. We changed that website now. Our admins will be extending it. So whenever you see something is not accessible, you can talk to our team. They will be extending it.
Oh, okay.
Any last question, guys? Okay. So if no questions, right, I just need to hear a quick feedback from a couple of guys. Good, bad, can be better, can do better, or the way of style has to be changed. Any feedback? Good. Thanks, Salman. You can unmute yourself and you can say that's fine. 11 Pro.
Yes, Krishna, it was good. Actually. I'm fine.
Thanks, guys. Okay.
Yes, Krishna, I am also fine. I like your pace. I can follow you very well.
Especially I want to hear from freshers. Okay. I know who experienced people, we can catch up this one. Okay. So I really have to cover all the mixed people here. Freshers, please open up. Don't hesitate to ask me any way to fasten sequels. No, Sunil, I'm really sorry that one. Okay. I have to cover this, sequel. I will fast it. Okay. I'll try my good to do it. Okay. If someone asks me there is a doubt, I can't step back. So but I have to go back.
Krishna is a good, but Krishna is daily taking 6 to 7 or 6 to 8 time.
6:30 to 8 is the actual time.
6 to 8.
6:30 to 8. 6:30 to 8. Yeah. 8 I have badminton match today. Also I have covered it.
Krishna, sorry, one final thing, Krishna, actually.
Yes,
Because I have seen some of the JDs, right? It's not asking only Snowflake and Snowflake with Teradata, Snowflake with Informatica, or Snowflake with some other tools.
Yes, yes.
So in that case, how we can things, because we are going to learn Snowflake and one database and think Python, right? But sometimes a requirement is, I could have to see more than couples or Teradata or anything with Informatica, mandatory skills. In the mandatory skills, they mentioned like that.
Yeah. So yes, I do agree that point, Ganesh. So what happens is the way we designed right now, it is the most of the asks. Okay. So what could be the reason you think that Informatica is almost Okay, Informatica Power Center is gone. IACS is still good. Okay, and Teradata is again on-premise. Now we are moving to the cloud. Why the companies are still sticking that? But we have better other things are there. What could be the reason you can think of? License. It's a license. They would have already spent the money on it. Okay, they would have paid it. Okay, they would have paid it. They have to bear it. Okay, so what happens is eventually people will be moving towards into a different Snowflake or a Python. They have to go little more optimized, right? So Informatica, you have to build everything again. Okay, so Informatica is coping up. IACS came in, right? So Informatica Integrated Cloud Services has came in now, right? So they are coping up. But what happens is the most asks, okay, and also, right, JD, if someone asks you saying that Snowflake, Teradata, Python, so it's always, with your experience, you can say whatever you mention on a JD, a person cannot able to adjust all the technologies. There will be always two lag or two this, but they will be expecting saying that whether you can able to cope up with that, whether you could able to pick up it up when you come into project. Okay, so that's where we choose this one. Okay, as I said, right, previous batch we didn't had any Snowpark and a Python, and PySpark architecture also we don't have. But now why we have added is companies are asking. They need to know some programming knowledge, and Snowpark is something people are expecting now. And PySpark knowledge also, they should know how the backend it is running, what is a master slave mechanism like that. So that's the reason we added. So we filtered out many technologies, and we came up with the best which can suit for the many JDs.
Okay.
But you will be seeing Kafka with a Snowflake. You will be seeing AWS Kinesis with the AWS QuickSight with a Snowflake. You will be seeing some variety of concepts will be there.
Yeah, Kafka. I could have to say Kafka with Snowflake. They're asking.
Yeah. They will be asking. The reason is they would have already spent money on it. They don't want to waste it. So until that Kafka is completed, they will be moving to Kinesis or somewhere. They will utilize the same knowledge. Dinesh Kumar Reddy, right? As I'm a fresher, I can't understand the terminology. Yes, yes, Dinesh, from from introduction perspective, I have to give this mixed terminologies to be used to make people to understand. Okay, but when we really go into the topics, right, I'll go as deep as possible, as layman as possible. Okay, and as simple as possible to understand you. In that case, also, if you are not able to understand it, right, let me know. Okay, we will supply an additional information. You have to put little more extra information, hours to understand it. Okay, but we will help you out, Dinesh, don't worry. Okay, I have seen this problem. We have seen this with every batch. Okay, and we have seen the frustration also from the people saying that, no, this guy is talking like big words, which I can't database also. There are people like, we don't understand database. What is database also? There were cases. Okay, my admins always come back to me saying that, Krishna, these guys are not understanding. We need probably a separate call with them to make it understand. I have to put it somewhere else to make him do the extra work. Okay, so we have some weapons to deal with that kind of stuff, Dinesh. Okay, but you don't hesitate. Just let us know that what exactly you're not understanding. We'll try to reiterate. And probably we have, good thing is having an experienced people in the batches is everyone will have one perspective. If I am trying to teach something which I couldn't able to make you understand, someone else will release a different statement. Probably that will help you a lot. Okay, that's something I will be expecting from an seniors also, right? So who knows a SQL, right? Sunil said that I know SQL better. Okay, so Ganesh knows a SQL. So you can really saying that, okay, this is something, this is what. Okay, so that might help you out to understand. Okay, so we'll work out as a team. I hope we will make sure, we will be making sure that you are aligned with all the topics and concepts. So with that note, shall we drop off for today, and we'll catch up on Monday. So Monday, make sure don't join from mobiles, join from laptop. I'll be picking one random guy to install a MySQL. He will be sharing, and parallelly others will be installing on their screens. And if any issues, we'll debug over there, and we'll complete the MySQL installation on the day. If time permits, we'll talk about what is database, what is data warehouses, what is SQL, why SQL, what is OLTP, what is OLTPs, okay? What is data? Will data itself is enough for the companies to run the business? How can you put the knowledge on it? What is an information? These are all topics we will be discussing as a fresh thing, okay? Okay, guys, cost. Sunil, cost, I don't know cost, Sunil. What is that cost? Okay, so yeah, if no questions, take a drop off. If you have any questions, kindly reach out to our telecaller team or my admin team. Okay, so please reach out any questions you can ask us. We will be helping out. Okay, so have the rest of the day good then, and a happy weekend also, and we'll catch up to Monday morning. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
guys. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank
I
you,
will be
Krishna. Yeah.
uploading this. You will be seeing this recording stuff.